me. And now I realize that this happened because of my egoistic will of achieving, just to prove to myself, to prove to others that I can overcome this conditioning, and I can become, and I can work, and I can be a hard worker. And what? Then I realized, and what? If I am not bringing a positive contribution for the ones around me, what for to have all these achievements, and just go further in this direction when I don't feel satisfied with what I am in my private life as well? So it's very, very important, I believe, to start to understand what we want, and who we are, because that position was not defining who I am. And we are labeling ourselves so easily, saying that, okay, I'm a coach, or I'm a manager, or but this is not who I am. I am much more than that. And my true self is behind all these limitations. And courage is having this desire inside of you to start to unfold all these limitations, and to come out, and to say, wow, okay, this is me, this is how I want to live. And if I am not taking these massive actions towards what I want to, or how I want to live, how can I expect somebody else to treat me in some way? Or you know what I mean, right?
Exactly. If you yourself are not your number one priority, working on yourself, having all of the ideas, not just an idea of who you are, how would we expect others to treat us in the best way possible? Yeah, that's completely true. And I love it how you said this very inspiring thing, that you got to understand that you need to know what your expectations are, because you had enough of other people's expectations of you. And what would you say your relationship with fear used to be before you decided to change your life?
My relationship with fear, Roxana, I was identifying myself with fear. I was living in fear. I remember all my childhood, or let's not generalize, but a big part from my childhood in my home, I was whispering when I want to say something, or when I dared to say something. And this is because I developed this protective shield. Every time when I want to say something, or to say my opinion, I know I will light up a fire, let's say. And it could happen that this emotional and verbal abuse will start for many hours, let's say. And then instead of expressing myself, I start to repress my emotions, and I start to hide behind this smile, and this positivity, which I found out later that it was a toxic positivity. I was just covering all my emotions, all my problems, let's say, with this smile, while inside of me I was feeling less and less happy, and less free. So my relationship with fear, it was that the fear, it was permitted in my mind, in my body, in the bones, in every cell in my body, because of my way of thinking, because of the way that I was thinking. I was emitting those emotions that every time when I was going out of my home, it was like, okay, I am, I can start to be myself, joyful, and do all these things. And every time when I was going back to my home, I take all this fear back with me, like, okay, what's going to happen today, or what's going to be next? And it was all in my mind, Roxana. We are worrying so much for so many things that in the end, maybe not even 20 or 30% of those things are starting to happen in real life. And we are making so many scenarios trying to protect ourselves. And we develop this fear inside of us that it's stopping. The fear has stopped me to live on my own terms. So if I was not living by my terms, I was living by the terms of someone else, right? And how many of us we are doing this? We are not aware of who we are, so we are just flowing or going, and it was a very, very interesting quote. I don't know where I read it some time ago, and it was saying, if you are not at the driving seat of your own vehicle, you are the passenger in somebody else's vehicle in this life. Yeah. So I was just a passenger in my life. And
powerful.
Once I overcome those fears, I can say that I am at my driving seat today.
Congratulations for passing the driver's exam for your vehicle. I love this metaphor. And indeed, how many of us are still living in fear in our head, being driven by someone else in someone else's car. And I remember that I was in your position as well. And unfortunately, it is painful. But fortunately, we can have we can take some decisions at a certain point, and we need to decide when enough is enough. Yeah. So I guess you had quite a lot of teachings from your fears from the past. Would you like to maybe share with us some of the greatest lessons that living in fear has taught you over the years?
Well, one of the big lessons will be that if I want a different life, I have to develop a different mindset. If I will continue to have the same way of thinking, the same negative self-talk, and telling myself that I am not good enough, I cannot do that, my English is not good enough, my experience is not enough, I am not, I don't know, all those kind of thoughts were on autopilot, and they were influencing what I'm doing. And the most important lesson I learned is that it takes time first. So it's not like overnight, okay, I'm going to start to think, oh no, I can do that, I am strong, I have all that it takes, I am protected, and everything is happening for me at the right time, in the right way, by divine right. No, it cannot be from today and happening tomorrow. It's a whole process. And it's also a responsibility that you take for yourself when you decide to work at your personal development and make a change. But is it not worth it when I think what I am growing now over here, it will last with me my entire life. A broke mindset can also lead me to a life that maybe, I don't know, I don't want to say that my way of living or my way of doing the things is a good one and somebody else's way is not a good one. But I just want to say that in order to have a different outcome in my life, it was needed to change my habits, to change my way of thinking, to switch from drawing my energy because of those thoughts to empowering myself with empowering thoughts. So yeah.
It takes patience indeed. We can't expect something amazing like keeping our mind under our control to happen overnight. But as you said, Roxana, it is so worth it. It is the biggest investment we can make in this lifetime because fortunately, and maybe unfortunately, however, I think it's probably fortunately because we only have one life, because we start to appreciate it so much, we start to value it. Because maybe if we would have had 10 lives, maybe we would only be living our 10th life seriously. Seriously, meaning with a lot of purpose and being present.
Wow,
No,
being
no.
present, yes.
Yes, being present is the strongest skill, I think. What do you think that we can grow?
Look, here I will add something because, having this um, growth mindset, like goal oriented and structured, like you want to achieve this or you have this goal, many people could say, you are not in the present moment because you are constantly looking to improve and to. There is a difference when I am not in the present moment, and it happened for me many times. I cannot say that I am always centered and aligned. No, it happens many times that I observe myself and I realize, whoops, I am going far away now, and I'm starting to have these expectations and envisioning myself in my future, and then I start to become anxious because if I am just projecting all those things, but I am not that thing yet, I start to become anxious how it's going to happen, what is going to be, and then I'm not anymore in the present moment. The same with looking back all the time to your past. That's why now I say it's a blessing, my past, and I forgive through a technique. It's called Ho'oponopono. I use it many times when I feel that I have to heal something and to forgive. And so if I will be too much in my past, this can lead to depression. So staying in the present moment is the key, because only from that point I can develop this acceptance and I can say, okay, I love who I am now. I am happy. I am okay. I am accepting my situation now. But from this point, I am working with myself to develop towards a certain direction. Yeah. So I am in the present moment. It happens, of course, to have the ups and downs like everyone, because the life it's a beautiful roller coaster and cannot be just linear line. It's with ups and downs. But the important thing is to be aware and to observe behind your thoughts. I don't know if it makes sense.
It makes all the sense, Roxana. I love it that you also mentioned the whole Pono technique. If you would like to share with us just a few ideas of how you're dealing with this, it would be just wonderful.
Well, Ho'oponopono, it's a Hawaiian technique for healing and for becoming aware of those beliefs or those thoughts towards certain persons or experience in our life that we want to get over it, in some way. And why it's so important, this forgiveness. And a lot of people think, oh, it's a hard thing to forgive. But if I am keeping envy, or if I am angry, or if I am keeping those negative emotions towards someone, that person, he probably have no idea that you think about this regarding him. You are harming yourself every time you have those thoughts, because you become frustrated or angry, and is not supporting me for my future. Why I should carry all those thoughts with me, So
Exactly.
Ho'oponopono, it helped me tremendously. What I did, uh, so there are four sentences that we are repeating. It's I am sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And before that, I took a pen and a paper and I started to write down all the thoughts that came in my mind towards those person that I had some, yeah, let's say negative thoughts towards them. And even I wrote down literally, you are a coward, I am feeling so bad because you was not supportive and na 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 na. But I decide today to free myself from those thoughts, from those expectations, because my expectation hurted me, not that behavior of him. And I decide to forgive you, and I decide to free as well that person within this technique. And after I wrote all this message that I wanted to share normally with that person, I just cut off all the paper, because it's what was the point of what's the point after so much time to go back to that person and throw to him all those thoughts? It's not the point. So the point is to forgive and to free yourself from that thoughts. And now, believe me, Roxana, for everything that happened in my life, I feel gratitude. And I forgive. For example, my father, when I'm thinking about him, I think about him with love. I am sending him my love and appreciation for what for the impact he had in my life, because as I told you, without those experiences, I will not be what I am today. With so forgiveness and gratitude.
Beautiful, very beautiful and empowering. And this is a great lesson for young people as well. What would you advise young people to focus on more at the beginning of their journey in order to live the best life that they can create for themselves?
I will advise them to try to understand the importance of taking responsibility for their lives, and understand that only by taking this responsibility they can take the control, yeah, and become, let's say, co-creators, living by intention, and free themselves from those social conditioning or those limiting beliefs that were implemented in childhood. We all have those subconscious programs running, and I don't know. It's very, very empowering when you start to say, okay, from now on, I am responsible for my emotions. I am responsible for the way I choose to think, and for what's happening in my life. And with this, I am also detached from the outcome, because if one thing it's of if somebody will act towards me in a certain way, it's fine. If not, it's also fine. So just by taking responsibility for my own life, I can free myself and live with from this emotion of love instead of fear.
Wonderful. This is so powerful that it gets me thinking to this very strong pattern that we get from our parents, that, as you said at the beginning, and I really appreciate that you said this, because our parents did live in communism area where information was not accessible. And as we get to grow more, to understand more, we begin to live this free life. And I think, Roxana, that your mission with empowering people and giving young people this advice to take responsibility and be completely free, and live a life full of love. This is what I believe that this planet needs to heal completely.
Well, it may sound big, but I believe I am a small piece from this big puzzle, and we are all part of this puzzle. And
Exactly.
somehow this puzzle is all over the place nowadays, with everything that is happening around, with all those low vibrational emotion, let's say, because when we live in fear, it's a low vibrational emotion. When we connect to this higher self, to those loving compassion, understanding, acceptance, these are emotions from a high frequency, let's say, and we need more of that. So I believe that slowly people, they will start to become aware of their power, and our power lays in the way that we react for what is happening in our environment. And it's more easy to react in a negative way and to say, go fuck off. Sorry, I think I can say this even if we are on YouTube. So it's easy to say, do what you want. It's more hard to start to feel this need of the other person as your need, maybe, or to have the understanding, to change the perspective and to say, maybe he is reacting like this because he also has some struggles, because something happened in his day to day, and let me try to understand before reacting. And in the moment when we develop this understanding, we are connecting to a higher frequency, and slowly this puzzle will come together.
Beautifully said, Roxana. I really think, as you said, that we are all growing towards making the world a better place, healing the people that need this, and why not discover the potential that we all have, which is, I believe, not even limitless. It goes beyond any expectation, as you said, or any thought that we have, because as we are pure consciousness, we can transcend, we can do, we can be, and we can have anything that we want to. And this is very powerful when we start to taste this freedom, how beautiful everything gets. My fearless friends, our wonderful guest is also coaching, and I have to advise you to get in touch with Roxana. She is in Antwerp, in Belgium. You can meet with her live. You can have online sessions with her, because her message is so powerful. And I would love it, Roxana, if you could share with us, what is your strongest strategy for working with your clients?
Of course, I can share. My strongest strategy when I work with clients is creating this safe space of expression, where they can feel safe to open up and to start to look within themselves. And I am somehow just a mirror showing to my clients their true potential and what is hiding inside of them. And I like, after each coaching session, to come up with an action plan, a very at point action plan that each person can implement and have results after the session. And one very important aspect is the fact that I am not creating that action plan. The client himself, he created, because only he knows what he needs, or what he's able to do, or what is his ability to take action in that certain moment. So together, of course, we will implement these action plans towards their goal.
Wonderful. And as you are very sincere, very authentic, you will have your client put that plan into action for sure. Because let's face it, wishful thinking, positive thinking, they all help a lot. But if you don't do some specific actions, you will be in that same place, maybe smiling more, but it will not help you to create some progress in your life. Roxana, can you please tell us how can our audience get in touch with you? Because I am so sure that many, if not all of our listeners, both from YouTube and from all of the other social media platforms, will love to get in touch with you, to learn from you, to get to know you more, to say hi, to get your wonderful information and put it in practice, as you are the best choice for their mindset coach 100%. How can they get in touch with you?
Well, I like to share with my audience, especially on Instagram, a lot of motivational content, to make stories about what is happening around me, or things that I believe can inspire at least one person. If I can have a contribution for one person, maybe in a while, for me, I am satisfied. But for the ones that they are interested, maybe to find out what it's happening with me in a coaching session, or how can I help them, I prepared this special 20 minutes gift, let's say, for them. So they can contact me in private, but please, I would like to ask them to specify gift 20, so they can, so I can know that they contact me for this, because otherwise I receive many messages and sometimes maybe I lose them, let's say. And I will be happy to schedule with them a 20 minutes free call, so we can talk about their struggles and how maybe we can start to work and find solutions. Because someone can talk with me 2 weeks, I will be happy to listen, because one of the things that characterize me now is active listening. A lot of people, maybe they just need to be somebody to listen to them or to be understood. And I am giving this opportunity for them to see what's happening in a coaching session, and to come up with some solution. Because okay, we can complain, or we can think we are in a position of okay, I don't know what to do, but let's start to find some solution about it. No, because if we don't take action for ourselves, nobody will.
Exactly. Roxana is very generous, and I have to thank you for offering this wonderful gift 20 to all of the people listening and tuning in and wanting to find more about how wonderful a coaching session with Roxana is going to be.
Just a short mention. So it's gift 20, and it's available just from today. So I know you're going to have this podcast for a very long while. So just to specify, it's from 5 until 10th of May. And they can find me on Facebook, Roxana Neaga, or on Instagram, gvo.roxana.
Great vibes only. I'm loving that small acronym that you have. Roxana is again very, very generous. Use gift20, the code, when you contact her on Facebook, on Instagram. You'll find her on Facebook with the name Roxana Neaga. On Instagram, gvo.roxana. You will have all the links in the description below this podcast, on social media. And I will be more than happy to recommend this beautiful soul to you every single time you need someone to listen to. And most importantly, to give you solutions. Because, okay, you give out all of the frustrations, you take out the negative emotions, you get rid of all of the unnecessary things from your system. But what's next? As Roxana said, you need to start putting some new steps into action in order to become the best version of yourself. Why not choose to be free, happy, and have the best life ever, right?
That it's all in our perspective.
Exactly. And Roxana can for sure help you. It is such a privilege, Roxana, such an honor. I'm very grateful to be learning from you as well. And I'm so happy that I got the privilege to meet you in person. You are a very kind-hearted person and such a pleasure to be around. I want to thank you once again for all your wisdom, for your time, and for giving our audience such a precious gift of not only you offering them this 20-minute session, but explaining how life can become from strong fear, hardship, to living a life full of love and meaning, and actually helping people become unlimited.
You say it so nice. Thank you so much, Roxana, for having me here. And I would like to thank also for the ones that they were with us listening. And I really appreciate and I'm grateful for you taking from your time. And I really hope you found something helpful from our podcast.
For sure. I myself have been inspired. Thank you once again, Roxana, and thank you to everyone who has watched us both on YouTube and everyone who is listening to us on Spotify and on social media as well. Thank you once again, Roxana, and wishing everyone a great week ahead.
Thank you so much.